This is what I ask of all sensitive men. Do not allow your sensitivities to block you from If you set a goal and you respect that goal, I'm going through something right now, and I'm sharing this. I've never shared this publicly. I'm going through some sort of like... The very next day, I got on the scale, and I'm like... So it's day 14. And if you watched the previous video, you know I set a goal. I wanted to lose 10 pounds in 14 days. I'm gonna do the official weigh-in right now. But first, let me tell you this. It's been a crazy 14 days. I had a few hiccups. So no excuses, but stress, life. Do I wanna call it a binge? It's my version of a binge now. Last Friday set me back. It really set me back. I'll tell you guys more about that, but let me jump on this scale real quick. All right, the results are in. Did I reach the goal? I was this close. I lost 8 pounds. But this is why I felt sure I could have hit my goal. I'll explain this in a second. There was a big spike on the scale. But before I get into that, let me explain to you why I was stressed out. So I've been building programs for the last decade, and I've always wanted to give the most personalized experience to my clients, give them the most support, create this environment that gives them the accountability, the support, everything that they need to be successful. The complaint that I always got was, Brix, your programs are too expensive, right? My programs were $300 to $500 a month for the group coaching program. My one-on-one coaching program is $20,000 for the year. I want to make a program that most people can afford, right? So I'm like, okay, how can I give people everything that they need to support them in their weight loss journey and somehow give them a top quality experience for under $100 a month? So that's what I've been working on all week. And I've been staying up till 2 in the morning, trying to figure out a formula to give people that quality experience in a way that is affordable. I managed to pull it off, and it's called my Shine Group Coaching Program. I have a pre-launch special where you can get 20% off your first month, 20% off of an already cheap price. We meet once a week on Zoom. I personally walk you through the process to help you with your meal plan, your workout program, your accountability systems. Each week, every person has a SMART goal. On the call, we check in with you. Did you reach your SMART goal? If you don't show up to the call, I'm hitting you up. Where you at? That level of accountability is needed. So I found a system that provides that. So guys, take advantage of this deal. Click the link in the description and sign up for the group coaching program. But back to this thing right here. All right, so before I even get into that story, let me kind of take you through what my weight did all week. Like I mentioned, I started at 225 on August 5th. August 6th, down to 222. That was just the water weight, right? August 7th, I went back up to 223. August 8th, went down to 221. 221 August 9th, 221.8 August 10th, 221.4 August 12th. Kind of hit a plateau for a few days. Same August 14th. Dropped a pound, 218 to August 15th. Now, August 16th, as you see here, I went from 218.7 to 223.1. And this is where my setback happened. It was the end of the week. I wanted to take my girl out. I planned to just go to a few events, maybe snack a little bit, but I don't know what it was. I had access to so much food, and I ended up overdoing it. The very next day, I got on the scale, and I'm like, fuck. I think I went up to 223 or something like that, 222, 223. And I'm like, all right, okay. So I had to bounce back. I had to refocus. But I learned some things with this 14-day experience that I want to share with you guys in this video. The very first thing is 13 years into this journey, I still need accountability. If you're out here trying to do this weight loss thing by yourself and you don't have some sort of external system, some external force, some group something to answer to, it's very unlikely that you're going to find success. I consider myself a master at this shit, and I still need several layers of accountability. First one being tracking my food. I've been tracking my food religiously, and it makes such a huge difference when you do it with integrity.
So I just woke up. It's about 6:17. I'm about to nerd out about the mind and about emotions. So if you're not into that type of stuff, you can fast forward to this timestamp right here. I don't know about you guys, but when I wake up in the morning, and this has been happening since I was a little kid, I have so many negative thoughts. I don't know what it is about my mind. I'm pretty sure this is common for a lot of people, but it's insane first thing in the morning. And this used to bother me. This used to control me, and it no longer does. Because I've learned that the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, I am not them. I am not my thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of your thoughts, the feeler of your emotions. And I hope you guys are staying with me here. Because you cannot be the emotion and feel the emotion. You can't be the thought and feel the thought. So the thoughts are not original to you. Your thoughts come from God knows where. Your conditioning, it comes from social media. It comes from the movies you watched as a kid, fucking Disney. It comes from your parents. It comes from everywhere. Fear. This stuff is taught. Fear is not real. Emotions, a lot of emotions that you feel, that feel so big and dramatic, they're just not real. You're never not okay. You're never not whole. And the more you can practice acknowledging that your thoughts are not you, they are just another thing that exists in the universe, just like a television, just like a pillow, just like a bed, there are thoughts. And when you can practice experiencing thoughts from the seat of the observer, from the vantage of your true God self, and you practice feeling them fully, feeling your emotions, observing your thoughts, and you practice not reacting, not attaching to them, that practice will change your life. I'm in a place in my personal journey because, guys, listen, I'm going through something right now, and I'm sharing this. I've never shared this publicly. I'm going through some sort of like spiritual awakening. I'm going through a detachment from my ego. Like, I want my ego to die because I'm recognizing how much suffering that my ego is causing me. And I'm really letting you guys in here, so fuck it. If this part of the video is long and boring, like I said, you can skip. And with that comes a lot of chaos. It comes with a lot of fear, because what's happening is my ego, as I'm the observer, the God in me, is starting to recognize the shenanigans, the fucking games that the ego plays. And the ego knows, it's recognizing that I'm over its shit. So now it's like trying to turn up even more, right? Because it's pretty much having a fucking hissy fit. And I'm having to sit with all of that, the chaos that the ego is presenting in my mind, in my body. And I'm having to use the tools that I've gained over the years from practicing mindfulness and yoga and breath work and journaling to just weather the storm, right? I'm going through like an ego death. But this really directly relates to weight loss, because a craving is just a thought, right? It's a thought, it's an emotion, it's something that the mind creates, the body creates. But if you practice observing the craving, observing the sensations that you feel in your body, like being curious in the moment that you're having some sort of intense craving. And if you check in with your body in that moment and you say, hey, body, are you really hungry? Right? And you rate your hunger on a scale of 1 to 10. You'll notice most of the time you're not hungry. You'll notice that a craving is usually attached to an emotion. And when you can recognize that, you practice recognizing that that is the truth of what is happening in the moment when you're feeling cravings. Usually it's attached to stress, it's attached to fatigue, it's attached to something other than real hunger. And when you practice breathing in the moment, right? You feel the craving, you stop. You check in with your body. You bring curiosity into the moment. You ask yourself, okay, what am I feeling? Am I really hungry? What's happening here? And when you practice doing that, now, I'm not saying that that's easy, but when you practice doing that, the very first time I observed a craving rush through me, like I wanted ice cream, and I stopped and I took some deep breaths. And I observed the craving. I asked myself those questions and I observed the craving just float away. That changed everything because that put some space in between me, the true me, and the craving. When I say it put space in between, it means that I got to experience that the craving was really just a state of mind. It was a state that I was in that moment. And if I choose to weather the storm, that state, that moment, that craving will pass. Now, these are all practices of mindfulness, and it does take time. This is why I'm a big advocate for meditation, because it gives you practice every day directing your focus, because that's what you want to do. You want to practice directing your focus, because where focus goes, energy flows, right? That's why gratitude is such a powerful thing, because when you're feeling negativity, if you can put your focus on things that you're grateful for, that helps you regulate your emotions. So when you are experiencing cravings, if you can put your focus on the fact that you're not physically hungry, if you can put your focus on the fact that you're experiencing a moment that is not real, right? The craving is not a real thing. It feels real, right? In your body, especially when the craving is emotional. Just know that it's something that if you breathe through it, if you bring curiosity to it, it will pass. That's the end of my TED Talk. I woke up with that on my heart, on my mind, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, because I told myself I was going to start being more authentic and letting you guys into this part of my mind and this part of my life, because this is what God wants me to do. This is my action step on that. Let me share with you guys the entire purpose of this whole lose 10 pounds in 14 days goal, because it's not for the video. It's not for aesthetics even. The real reason why I did it is because I found myself in a place where I was off track. I had fallen off my version of it. And in order to lock myself back in, I had to set a goal. That's just how my mind works. And I feel like that's how most people's minds work. If you set a goal and you respect that goal, it'll put you into a different mental frame. So I'm getting on the scale real quick. Ah, shit. This is how it works. As you guys can see, the scale went up from yesterday. And that's fine. This is just what the scale does. It goes up and down. I remember the scale used to control me emotionally. I no longer allow it to do that. Now it's just data. Now it's just an accountability buddy. It's just feedback. It gives me some information. So based on the fact that the scale went up yesterday, I know I ate a little too much yesterday, so I'm just gonna make an adjustment today. I'm gonna eat a little bit less. And that's really all it is. I had to work to detach my emotions from it though, because that shit is no good. Because honestly, the scale is a good tool. It is a good tool. I used to think it wasn't because I was so freaking emotionally attached to it in the wrong way. But it's definitely, come on, up, thank you. But it's definitely a good tool. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about the scale, because I know everyone is different. I have some clients who hate the scale. I have some clients who are like, yeah, the scale don't bother me. So let me know in the comment section how you feel about the scale. On my way to take RJ to school. Ah, shit, hold on. They've been having it's been a nightmare because they've been having trouble getting his records from his old school. So this is really the third day of school. He hadn't even gotten started yet. So hopefully they got everything situated. They've been giving us issues about getting him registered for school, but they made sure his ass was at track practice though. which I think is funny as hell. I spoke to the lady at the office yesterday, and she's like, yeah, he's not in the system yet, but please make sure he's at practice today. I'm like, this lady. So I made a post on Instagram yesterday where I was reacting to a woman who said she don't like men with dad bods. She would never date a dude with dad bods because whatever. Matter of fact, I'll just play it right now.
No, I don't want a dad bod. I don't want to be with somebody, date someone, marry someone with a dad bod. And here's the reason why. If a man cannot control what he puts into his body, he cannot control his life. He can't lead me if he can't lead himself.
And I had a lot of sensitive, emotional dudes in my comments. Super, super upset. Now, I'm a sensitive dude myself. There's nothing wrong with sensitivity. But this is what I ask of all sensitive men, sensitive people in general. Do not allow your sensitivities to block you from a message that you need. They're missing the point. They have all these arguments about discipline and how they're allocating discipline towards other things in their life. They have PhDs and they have businesses and they make all this money. But what the fuck does that mean? If your health is at risk, if you're carrying too much body fat, you are scientifically putting your health at risk. And what good is all of your accolades, all of your discipline that you're allocating to everything else if you are sick, if you're on medication, if you are not feeling confident in your body? What does it mean? So again, don't let your sensitivities block you from the message. That's it. I'm about to go hoop right now. I was dealing with the madness trying to get my son in school. It's been back and forth. The shit's stressing me out a little bit. I'm not even going to front, but I'm having to breathe through it, right? The power of the breath allowed me to regulate my nervous system so that I can function with a clear mind. Anyway, exercise always helps. On my way to do that right now. All right, I'm going to show you guys some of the basic stretches that you could do. I usually start with like a runner stretch. All right. Open up the hip flexors, get the glute stretched. We reach up, lower back. I do a basic hamstring stretch here. Boom. Then I hit a hip opener here. I even rock back and forth, get the ankles involved, get the ankles warmed up and stretched out a little bit. Hit a quad stretch. And I do each stretch for about 30 to 40 seconds. It takes me about 7 minutes to stretch. Please, 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 please. Prioritize stretching, y'all. Please, 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 please. Please, your body will thank you.
If I learned anything from this trying to lose 10 pounds in 14 days, it's this. Weight loss requires 3 main things. One, and this is going to sound obvious, but I want you to really think about it. It requires focus. And what I mean by focus, there's 2 different mental frames you can approach weight loss with. It can be passive. It can be, yeah, kind of want it. And then there's the mental frame of, I'm locked the fuck in. This is non-negotiable. This is the most important thing in my life right now. And I think for those of us who are trying to make it a lifestyle, who it's kind of life or death, we have to have that level of focus. Now, the next thing that is required is the ability to manage and regulate your emotions. Stress and emotional turmoil is the kryptonite of weight loss. If you don't learn how to calm yourself down when you feel stress, if you're not aware when you're feeling big emotions and that those big emotions are inspiring you to overeat foods that take you off of your path, if you're not aware of it, there's nothing you can do. All right? So focus, emotional management, stress management, these are the keys. I was able to take off 8 pounds in 14 days. It's not because I have some sort of superpower. It's because I know how to lock in mentally and I know how to manage myself when life starts lifing. That is the key. All right? So guys, if you're watching up until this point, I want you to comment yes down below because I want to thank you. I want to thank you for yourself, right? I want to thank you for investing this time into yourself. And I also want to thank you for supporting the channel. Shout out to the Brix squad. I love you guys. And as always, remember the body that you want is owned by a higher version of yourself. So evolve. Peace.